Hello, and welcome back to the Great Western Tour, brought to us by Midland Disc Sports and sponsored by the London Disc Golf community. I'm your host, Duncan Fraser, and with me is Chris Bass.
Hello.
We've had a good front nine.
Oh, it's been a stormer, but it's tight.
It's tight at the top, and it just goes to show that Ashton Court plays hard for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But catch us on the back nine that we go into now, where we can see Ben March at 2 under, Steve Nolan at 1 under, Ben Seaman at even, and Rob DeForge at +1. So all to play for. Hole number 11, hardest hole in the course.
Oh, by far.
OB everywhere, gradients change. You have to really get your execution right for this to work, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong in a big way.
There's a lot of ways it can go wrong for sure. It's hard for righties, it's hard for lefties. It's tough.
But let's see how our feature card does it. I will say Ben March has got the distance to really get up there. But yeah, let's start with Steve Nolan.
Just see that bench down the end there. You've got to go all the way to that, round to the right, and then behind those trees.
Yep.
Looks low enough to get through.
Yeah, good shot.
Just see myself slipping. I've nearly done a knee doing before.
Rob laying out the red carpet, purple carpet.
He is Rob DeForge. It feels like quite a royal name. Maybe he only plays disc golf with his red carpet, or purple carpet, shall we say.
Swinging out the big hyzer. Just clears it.
Here we go. Ben March with the big Sky Annie.
Oh, look at that go. Clears it easily, and he'll have a nice look at the basket from there as well.
I don't think he got it to come out. I think that came in quite sharp. I think if he got that whole thing to come out to flat, it could have really got up there. Ben Seaman, great.
Yeah, another peach of a shot. These guys make it look easy. I'm sure anyone watching this that actually played the tournament will disagree.
Steve Nolan with an approach into the basket.
Yeah, that big hyzer up. Perfect.
That's really nice.
Just dropped it down.
Ben Seaman kind of in a similar situation, it feels.
Yeah, need that big angle up and over. Got the legs.
Sure. Unforced error, I would say.
Yeah.
If you can get the distance and the height right, you shouldn't necessarily be playing with the OB, but Ben finds himself in there.
That's safe.
Again, almost too good.
I think Ben March saw Ben Siemens and thought, I need to throw it further, and then he threw it much further. Rob with this is approach in for birdie, I believe, so he'll be looking at that par.
See the rain just starting to come down now. You're looking at some slippery discs.
Nice run.
Yeah,
That's a nice run, Ben.
just short by Ben March. A rare birdie opportunity for Steve Nolan here.
Great putt. That's got to be one of a few birdies on the day.
I'm just going to say to you, Chris, it plays 2.31 over par this hole.
I wish I was surprised.
I think Ben Seaman gave us a taste of what can happen on this if things go wrong. Everyone else played it relatively well, you know.
I think all the locals as well, we're not used to that OB there. Normally we don't play that as OB, so maybe that snuck into Ben's head. Who knows, but...
There we go.
Steve pulling into tied for first place with Ben March.
He's got hot. Steve. He's really found, that early bogey set him back, but he's really put a few birdies together now, and he's keeping up.
Yeah.
Hole 12, Chris.
It's a long par 3, 110 metres, nicknamed Lawn Darts, because they're one of the few holes where there is literally nothing in your way. Get it up there and you should have a good look for birdie.
110 meters distance, but it is on an incline, so it's probably going to play maybe about 120, 130. It can be deceptive of how far away the the basket actually is.
Big high flex shot from Steve. Looks nice, but he's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah. I think Steve's got the power as well. I think it is that the gradient change is subtle, but quite effective actually. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, Ben making it look easy.
Yeah, good shot by Ben Seaman. I would say he got it on the turn, he got a nice fight at the disc, he's just got a birdie to earn.
He's looking for that longest putt.
Was that the excuse for the day?
That I kept making it. That's, never got it there.
Oh, nice run.
Good effort from Steve. That's a long putt uphill.
I would say the height was right, just a little bit too on the right hand side.
Gonna get one. Oh, so
Ooh,
close with all
Rob's
these
got to
runs.
get one of those soon.
As Steve says, he's gonna get one. One of these is gonna go in. He's flashing chains every time he's approaching to the basket.
Left.
I don't think Steve was too offended that it hit his disc, but I believe it did.
That close to jumping back out. Just saying.
But it didn't.
But it
And
didn't.
it's a birdie for Ben March. That's a par for Steve Nolan and for Ben Seaman as well. And Rob also picked up the par. Sorry, not put on the coverage there. But there we go. Ben March down to 3 under. Steve Nolan just behind. Rob and Ben Seaman both on +1. So a little bit of distance now.
Whether you're out playing a tournament or just hanging out with friends, don't let your grip cost you strokes out on the disc golf course.
Barry, try this.
When you have a better grip on your discs, you have the confidence to perform your best with each throw and every putt. Whale sacks are whale-shaped grip bags designed to dry your hands so you can trust that you have the best grip on your disc. Get a whale sack, because better grip means better confidence.
Now, hole 13, it should be said with the caveats that with the high temperature conditions and wet conditions, the technical abilities of the production team took a bit of a knock for the rest of the round, but we have enough to keep going and get you through. Hole 13, a must get maybe.
It's a hard get. It's deceptively hard for the distance. You've got to go around the curve of the hill and get close enough to have a bit at the basket.
So sadly we don't have our second cam, but Ben March does get up close to the pin. It is a good shot.
It's always hard to tell from the tee whether it's going to end up good or in the thick stuff. Looks a little high from Steve, but
You can see the perspective. It's essentially blind. You know, you have to get yourself up and high. If you get yourself turned over, you're in a bit of trouble as well, actually.
you find yourself with a long uphill putt. Rob's going to get fairly close.
Honestly, a long uphill putt is actually not so bad. I've been so far left that I've taken a distance driver and just torn it straight towards the basket because it's a pretty accessible backstop if you go long. So here we go. Rob's second shot.
It's a high basket, this one. It's raised up and it's a tricky get from here. I think if that had been a regular height basket, Rob would have nailed that.
Definitely. Ben Seaman kind of up close for his putt there. Maybe through his reaction we can see if we can get this one down.
Didn't hear any... Oh no.
I don't think so. No, don't think he got it. Steve Nolan, that's a great shot.
It's a lovely drive. Just gives it enough to get it over the lip.
tiniest of inches to get over there. Yeah, he knows it. He knows it.
You can hear the rain starting to come down now as well, so conditions are getting tougher all the time.
I would say today had everything. It had dry conditions, it had very wet conditions, and the heat was pretty relentless.
It was pretty impressive for this part of the UK, at least.
Ben, easy as you like, birdie.
Yeah, it's nice being up a little bit higher up on the hill. You've got that flat part. You don't have to up quite so much, worry about the elevation. But
You think it's easier up there? I think it's horrible up there. Are you kidding? It's the worst death putt ever. Yeah, do you run it? Because it can be the end of your round. But it's not the end of the round for Ben March and Steve Nolan. I'll say they're both sticking with each other. Steve Nolan -3, Ben March -4, and I think they're heating up a bit now. I think they're starting to string some birdies together.
I think it's going to be tight between these two, especially going into this hole, the pond.
Iconic?
This is the Ashton Court hole for me, at least. It's deceptively far away, despite being downhill. You've got this hump halfway down, so you've got to send something out quite high to the right to bring it in safe.
Of course, the pond.
And then, of course, there is the pond. Many people watching will have a disc in that pond.
Yours truly.
And
one of the best forehands I've thrown just went straight into the pond, so I wasn't even too mad about it. So here we have Steve Nolan's shot. Deceptively long. He's a bit short and a bit left, which is kind of where they get caught.
Clip the top of that hill there.
So, sadly with some of the technical difficulties, we didn't get some of the catch cam, but we do have a lot of the slow-mo, which I think we can do a little bit of form checking. Steve Nolan, apart from his bucket hat game,
which is strong.
Which is very, very strong. Goatee.
Powerful goatee.
Powerful goatee. Kind of the tennis cap as well. I feel like Rob, he owns that look for sure.
That's the Rob look.
Mustache.
And the mustache, yeah.
Sort of like fisherman mustache. He is a seaman, he is a man of the, I hear that he's a big fan of fishing in the States. Here we go. So Ben Seaman actually looking for a birdie putt from his first shot. Of course, this is filmed in slow motion, so it goes in.
Of course, the slow-mos have to go in, right?
So there we go. Sorry for the difficulties there, but as you can see, Ben March gets himself to -5. Steve Nolan stays at -3. Ben Seaman gets himself back to even, and Rob on +1. So sadly, we missed whale sacks, but we do move on to hole 16. Similar in the sort of sense of a lawn dart. I'm going to say this is a definite must get.
It really is. It's got that added little bit of spice in that you've got the pond on the left, so you really do have to swing it out to the right, or you're going for a really brave lefty shot, float over the pond. But yeah, this is one these guys will be looking to get.
Oh, with a wobble.
Cameraman agrees.
Wobbleman is shaking his head on that one for sure. I think
that's the shot from Ben. That's it.
I don't want to say boring, but it's right there. It's right there.
It's a golf shot. That's it.
Did you get it? Did you get up there?
I just about got up there. Probably with a different disc to what Ben just threw. I think I managed to sail a nuke up there.
Oh, very good.
Place for one of my few birdies of the day.
Chris is going with the nuke on this occasion.
I threw it on almost every hole. It was one of the few discs I could get going.
Okay.
And a long look from here.
So Ben Seaman did get very close to the basket and got himself a birdie and whale sack. So he's now looking for a further birdie. Just low. But he is now sitting at 1 under. So he is turning his round around a little bit. What can you say? Easiest birdie for Ben March.
Put it close, putt it in. That's the game. Nice.
Same as Steve. Yeah. What is it? Drive for show, putt for dough.
That's what they're going for.
Disc golf is an easy game if you're only ever a meter, 2 meters away from the basket.
Yeah, just throw it at the basket, put it in. How hard can it be, right?
Yeah. So after that, now we've got some severe moves going on. Ben March, 6 under. Steve Nolan, 5 under. Ben Seaman, quite far back at 1 under. And Rob at +1 still.
+1 and 1 under, though. They're still great scores on this course. It's a hard course. I think Ben and Steve they're flying.
I think one of my best rounds on Ashton Court, I got myself to +5, +4. You know, like this, it's a hard course, and these guys are actually doing quite well. Hole number 17, it's a guessable par 3. It's quite hard with how quick and tight you have to get that disc to turn to the left.
You're fighting with 2 big OBs there as well. It's a good looking shot from Steve. A nice safe shot there.
That's why I expect to shank the stable stuff at the understands.
I've seen Ben park this with a pig, and
That's disgusting.
it's quite frankly sickening. Not the pig today, but still, it's a great shot straight through the middle.
It's only round 1. I don't think he wants to show off too much, too early. But as you guys can see, OB left, OB right. You know, if pretty calm day wind-wise.
Rob's going to be going for the secret line here. Lefty line around the back of the left OB. You've got to really bring it through, but you've got a lot of open space.
I'm going to say this hole is not for Rob. It's tricky. A lot of Ashton Court actually favors the lefty, but this hole, I'm going to say no. I think this is where if you have a stock right-hand hyzer, you should be able to get yourself up to the pin.
That does look good from Ben as well. If it's got the legs to get up there, which I think it does. Reactions say yes.
Reactions say yes. There you go, yeah. Rob can't really get too much closer than that. Like Steve Nolan said, one of these days it will go in.
It's got to go, right? He's owed one by now.
So scared of it.
Ben with his birdie bid. OB behind the basket, so it is hard for your putt. Steve Nolan on a bit of slow-mo, seeing if he can get his birdie. Not today. Not today. Fooled you with the replay. Don't be fooled by the music on this one. Ooh. Ben misses on the birdie. I would say his putt's not quite been on.
Yeah, he's missed a few of those, and the conditions are getting tough at this point. You've got tired arms, wet hands. It sort of sums it up, doesn't it? And I think a lot of people watching who were there will really empathise with Ben at that point.
You can see him. He's having a word with himself in the background. I think after 17, 18, you just gotta stay strong. You just gotta, because you can make these mistakes easily.
For sure. And Ashton Court, there's a stamina game involved as well. Some of the shorter courses don't see as much.
So there you go. Ben Seaman drops back to even, and pars for the rest. 6 under, 5 under. Really hot rounds for these guys.
Yeah, they're storming it. Not long to go. A few more holes.
So yes, hole 18, par 4. If you have the distance, you can challenge these OB pinchers on the right and the left-hand side. Get yourself into this secondary sort of platform, but most of us are laying up and then having our approach shot go towards the basket, as you can see now. For a par 4, it is totally gettable. If you can get yourself up to the right position and then get yourself towards the basket with a sort of high-speed disc, then you should be looking at a birdie. But OB is around, it can really get you.
And that OB is quite a distance away. You're sort of looking maybe 90, 95 metres. You've got to clear.
Lovely. Now just sit down.
Give it the wings.
Yeah, Steve getting it to flutter back to the... He's in the middle. That's what you want.
It's where you want it to be, for us mere mortals.
And Ben, I was surprised that he didn't, very casual layup.
It's tight though, it's tight between him and Steve. He's got a safe shot that needs to sit down for Rob. Yeah, that's good.
It does.
That's good.
It was
You'll
challenging.
have a nice look at the basket there. There is some spicy OB on the back towards the basket that he's going to have to test. Going for that middle line.
Scared me a little.
Yeah.
Felt like it came out right, but he just took some of the speed off, and yeah, they're all in a great position for sure.
You got the basket now just down to the left behind that big tree there. Still quite a ways to go. That's going to be too straight.
Alright.
See, he wanted to go left, but I don't think he's
It's not
OB.
OB, but you can. I think if you go for it too much, you can overturn that drive, and it gets you into the OB situation. Wow.
Big turnover from Rob. That could even be too big.
Go right. Yeah, he wanted to come back. I think that's really down there.
It's going to need to come down.
Oh yeah.
Over. That's pretty much perfect from
That's
Ben.
nice from Ben.
Should be close. It looks good. It's hard to tell if he's happy with it.
I think from their point of view, that's all you can see. You
Yeah.
just get it in the right flight and then just see if it gets there.
You try to float this lunar all the way in. Oh, he has floated it.
Oh,
What a bid.
great bit.
Got to carry all that OB there. Come on, Rob.
Felt like he snapped at it.
Yeah, he wants it too much now. I think we all want it to.
Ben, with a look for bird. Yeah, he was right down there. He had a great position to get the bird, and great shot.
It's a bit of a tester from there, but
It's a classic Ben
making it
Marks
look
putt,
easy.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
From Steve. It's a little low.
I thought his approach was closer than that. I didn't think that he had that much of a comebacker, but he
The
did.
difficult thing with this hole is it's so hard to tell.
So with that, Steve does drop to 4 under. Ben Marks getting to 7.
And
He's storming.
he's pushing it.
All to play for. 2 rounds in this day. You know, anything can happen. But Ben's definitely making moves. Back to hole 1, of course, because they started in hole 2 at the beginning of the day. Really tricky starting hole.
It looks a lot easier than it is from this footage, but you've got 2 bits of OB here that you've got to navigate somehow to get through to a pretty tight green around the basket. So
I mean, how wide is that? You know, at its thinnest, 3 meters of landing zone.
You've got
Possibly.
OB there to the left, you've got thick woods to the back, so it's either a big drive up the middle, or a tricky second shot.
Oh, Chris, talk to me. You know what it is. It's a putter off the tee.
Yeah,
Then it's over the OB all the way to the basket.
giving away the secret lines.
I don't want to give away too much, but because I can't throw very far, I find that option presented to me more often than not. And more often than not, I've managed to get myself through. So
It's a scary one because you've got a lot of OB to carry, but those trees on the left are big, the grass on the right is long.
it's hole 1. I don't know if you want to do it on hole 1. You know, it's a big play to go for hole 1. Anyways, these guys are playing all to the perfect landing zone.
That's it. You see now he's got to carry it all the way around that OB, over the trees and onto that tight green. He seems happy with it.
Yeah, he loves
Steve
it. I
likes
think,
that.
yeah, that looked
It's
really
a hard
good.
shot from there. You catch those trees, you're looking at 3 or 4 over easy. Hard shot for a lefty. But he's going safe. He wants to see that gap.
That's a hard lefty shot to do. Right?
I think Rob knows it. I think, being a lefty, don't fight it.
Yeah.
Just play the course how it should be played, just in pieces.
Could be good.
All over it. Ooh, that's fine.
Ben says
That
that's
is
fine, but I think he's overcooked it a little bit. Ben Seaman with his approach.
Looks all right. Hands on hips though. Maybe not.
I think.
Not too bad. Oh, he's hit the OB.
He did catch OB. The thing is
So
with this
hard.
one, if you catch any of those trees, it's not coming out.
No.
It's
Then you find yourself a metre away from the trees, trying to work out how to get back over them again.
Go on.
all day.
Great bid, Rob. We've dialed with those all day.
Flick around the corner from Ben.
Like you said, you're a meter away from the tree, thinking,
That's it.
how did you get
How do
over
you
this?
get over it? Something like that.
That's a big, big putt to have to make for bogey.
But I think at that point you're just saying to yourself, I don't want to go even more.
Ben March in the thick stuff. And now out of the thick stuff, but he definitely pushed it on his approach shot. Here we go. Ben looking to save bogey, finish the round on even.
Oh, give it to it.
Such a shame. I think his putt for the day just left him a short a few times.
Yeah.
He got himself into loads of positions, but his putter was just a bit soft.
Not playing ball. I was blaming it on the wet weather. So
Nice. Steve with an opportunity to get another birdie. Just right. But he'll pick that up for par, and I will say, Steve, that was a commendable round. Coming in to Ashton Court, not a local, a few days before, had 1 or 2 practice rounds, and with a hard start, really picked up pace.
Oh, he was chasing Ben that whole round. I think Ben knew it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there we have it. Ben March finishes the the back 9, 7 under. Steve Nolan -4. Ben Seaman sadly at +1, and Rob DeForge also at +1. Commendable scores nonetheless. Nonetheless, this is a hard course, and it's been great. It's been very entertaining.
It was a great round. It's humbling to watch for us mere mortals.
It's interesting to see that Ben March is for our local best player, but he's only 3-4 shots away from the competition.
Yeah.
All to play for.
Yeah, it's absolutely all to play for, and it'll be really, really interesting to see what he does in the next round.
Catch us in the second round.